Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my stream for today. It might be a short stream, just so you know. I hope it works. I know the internet was wilding out yesterday, or not yesterday, the last stream that I had, so hope everything is good. Hi, how are you? I'm gonna start in a little bit. I found this transphobe. I haven't seen like the whole video. Hi, how are you? And I wanted to react to it on stream because one, I'm still recovering from laryngitis, which, you know, so much fun. And second, Happy New Year, everyone. And second, yeah, I'm still getting over being sick, so I don't have a lot of energy. So I figured, why not check out this new transphobic person, because why the hell not? And yeah, that was my play. Are you okay now? I have a cough, so if I start, I've got a whole bunch of cough drops and everything. Hope you feel better soon. Also, Happy New Year, everyone! But yeah, man, I was in a war fighting over the pronouns of an anime character. Which character? Not gonna lie, your voice sounds so chill right now. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. So when my voice was like gone, I did a whole like, this is my voice 1 month on T, and I was like, damn, hold up, like, that has me thinking some thoughts. Yeah, I hope the internet is okay. I hope y'all like, well, not like, but you know, we can watch this transphobic person's stuff together. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes though. At 7:10 we'll start getting into it. My throat feels so muciny right now. It feels so weird. I hate it. Oh my god, that sounds like something I do. Right? Yeah, no. I've also got my seltzer here. So y'all, if I start coughing in the middle of the stream, I'm so sorry. I'll mute myself if I start coughing too much. But how was everyone's New Year? I hope you had a good time. I had a really chill time. The character was named Yamato from One Piece. And in the story, he uses he, him pronouns, but the fandom continues to misgender him. What the fuck? What's wrong with these people? Hope you get better soon. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure my roommate's a really big One Piece fan, and they've told me about him before. So I kind of know. I feel like I should have gotten into One Piece by now, but it is what it is. I don't know why I don't think I'm sick. Oh my god, no. Well, that was my thing. So, like, I mean, I've just been sick for like a month. Honestly, I blame the fact of like falling down the stairs about a month ago, like fucking over my whole immune system. I eventually decided to not argue with dummies on the internet. Honestly, that's valid. That's really valid. Okay, let me see. Turn that off real quick.
about their problems while
It's
someone else
inferior
tends to
pronouns.
listen.
Yeah,
But
I really
that idea
don't know.
Carter, which
Excuse me. Oh my god. Yeah, no, this is probably gonna make me all burpy. So I apologize. Okay, so reacting. So I don't have to talk anymore. So this is a person. She has over 1 million subscribers, and I looked at her channel a little bit. I haven't seen this full video yet, but I looked at her channel and I was like, it's a lot of react stuff. It's kind of like what Blair does. I don't know if this person is trans or not. I'm gonna assume she's not, but oh well. I wonder why people even have the time and energy to be obsessed with trans people. Like what? Yeah, no, I don't get it. But I saw this and I was like, let's see. The name of the video we'll be reacting to is Reacting to TikTok Gender Insanity.
so she called me Mr. Carter, which is, I mean, like,
Oh,
my
wait.
voice is deep. Like,
Wait, hold up. Need to get that on. Oops. Okay, there we go.
get it. I was like, oh, actually, it's Miss Carter. And she's like,
I'm back. Sorry, stream is acting weird, but it's better now.
boom.
Not gonna lie, I love that content creator.
Binary. My pronouns are she, they.
Okay guys, I think you can tell what we're doing today. We're gonna be reacting to crazy gender TikToks. And without further ado, let's get into it.
How can you, like, I really don't understand how, again, I'm gonna assume a cis person can just, yeah, care so much about gender stuff. Oh no, I'm having trouble with audio. Oh, it's this girl. I've never, have you seen her before? I've never seen this
Before we
bitch.
get into this video, I'd like to give a shout out to all the people who have decided to become patrons so far on Patreon. It really is how we feel.
Yo, she's like, you know what? I really just want to shout out my Patreon real quick. Also, shout out to my Patreon real quick. Hold on. Y'all, I was going to make this announcement at the end of stream, and I probably will again. But just to let you know, every Tuesday night after this stream, I'm going to be going on my Patreon, because on Thursdays, I'm going to be doing art streams, and my Patreons are going to be able to vote on what they want me to draw during that stream. It's going to be part of the $1 tier, so if anyone is interested in that, go ahead and check out my Patreon. It's linked somewhere. I'll link it somewhere. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. I'm going to be putting up like different fandoms or different characters. I'll also be taking like suggestions and that kind of stuff. So for Thursday streams, if you want to be part of that, go check out my little
The work
Patreon.
that we do on this channel.
I'll do a self-promo if she's going to do a self-promo.
Down below, but no pressure. Now let's get to it.
I'm a non-binary middle school special education teacher, and
They
only
look
people
great.
Professionals know that I'm non-binary, because that's not like a conversation I want to have with parents and admin right now. Anyway, one of my students said that I was a beautiful king the other day, and that was just so affirming. It
Aww.
gave me the gender euphoria. Have a good day.
A few things to unpack. I think what this person may or may not have been saying is that they don't go around telling their students that they're non-binary. And notice how I'm using the correct pronouns.
You shouldn't have to, like, pat yourself on the back for using the correct pronouns for someone. What the hell? Yeah, I've gotten her on YouTube Shorts, and she's annoying. I think I have her on Don't Recommended channel. Oh my god. I'm so sorry if I'm triggering you right now. It's cool. I'm too broke to afford Patreon. I have, like, no money. It's all good.
This is a woman who is deciding to identify as non-binary, which has its own issues. But at the very least, if I interpreted that correctly, I'm glad that they're not telling the students that they are non-binary.
Why does it matter?
However, if I
What? I've never understood the whole, like, hold
I was a
on,
middle
let
school
me.
student in this classroom, or I was a parent who was sending my middle school students to a classroom like this, again, it wouldn't last for long. I don't
What
think
the
this is
hell?
a great role model for children in particular, especially
What the
if you get gender euphoria by simply being referred to as king. I feel like you might have some other deeper set issues that you should have to deal with before becoming an official influence on young minds and
I want her to shut up. Oh my god, y'all, you know what? You were right. She is annoying. I'm so sorry. What's so wrong about children having non-binary teachers? Like, I don't understand. Like, imagine someone saying this, but like, back in the day, it was like, oh, I don't want my child having a woman teacher. I don't think that's a good influence. Like, like how sexist that would sound? Like, this is so gross. Like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, what?
classroom. And that's just me. I'm curious how you guys feel about that. If you brought your student to school and you found out that their teacher was non-binary or trans or whatever, would you be vibing with that? Would that be
Yes.
something that's fine? So
I
long
would
as
be
it's not
perfectly
discussed in the
fine.
classroom? Or would you be advocating that your daughter or son be moved to a different classroom? I'm gonna be honest, I probably haven't moved to the different classroom.
the
I'm already
hell?
planning on homeschooling or private schooling my future kids just so I don't have to deal with issues like this and that it's
You don't think there are trans people or non-binary people in the private, like, schools stuff? Like, what?
not something that I have to constantly be worried about, but I'm curious how
Hello?
you respond in a situation like this, because I'm leaning towards just not going through all the back and forth and the strife and just having them moved to a different classroom where I know this is not going to be
As one of the
next.
few queer
So this
people
will
from
just
Eastern
kick off
Europe,
the
I
first
am
period.
suffering.
They are
Oh
hell,
no.
but worth it as I'm becoming more happy each day. I'm so living my best life and becoming more of a beautiful woman each day.
Aw.
I know who I am, and I'm only getting more confident, more happier, more myself each day. Trans women are women.
Yes.
I don't want to step on anybody's happiness or what they're claiming to be fulfilling and making them happy, but I can
is their
also
problem?
guarantee you that this person has not just gotten through their first period, as that is physically impossible. If you are a biological man who is intending to transition to be a woman, you will in fact not be getting a period. And I know
So, like, you're not going to be biologically getting a period. Like, that's not going to happen. But because you are taking estrogen and those hormones, you will be getting a lot of emotional side effects. And I believe I've heard some trans women talk about feeling as though they're getting, like, PTSD. Not PTSD. PMS, sorry. PMS from taking estrogen. Which, like, makes sense to me. Because I know that a lot of trans men have talked about, like, different emotional things that have happened to them through taking testosterone. So, like, why does
this
it
is
matter?
claimed by a lot of different trans advocates and activists all over the internet, and those who are sort of cosplaying the womanhood experience. They think that simply because they're on hormones, now they're experiencing something tantamount to what we experience every single month when we're menstruating. And I can guarantee that that is not the truth. And if you were a biological man,
Did she just say trans women are cosplaying being women? Oh my god! Didn't the teacher say they were a special ed teacher? There might not be any other special ed teachers that you can switch your child to, honestly. I'm so sorry to hear that. It breaks my heart. Sending love to Canada. Don't let the transphobe get you down.
man transitioning to become a woman who is getting period-like symptoms, you should probably ring up a doctor. Because I can promise you that something else is going on, and that would be deeply concerning from a medical standpoint. But it's actually very enlightening to see people
You know
like
what's
this
so
talk about
funny?
their
I'm literally watching this because I've been editing my videos, and I'm just like, huh. She's got good editing. No wonder she has like a million. Like, I know she's spewing hate. Like, this is not it at all. But I'm like, huh, I may take some of her editing.
becoming a woman in this way, because it just goes to show you how they view women. And it's actually extremely misogynistic. They distill womanhood down to wearing a wig, putting on makeup, putting on
That's
women's
not-
clothes, and then complaining about having gone through a terrible period. That's what
That's
they think
not-
women are, that's what they think we do, and that's what they think is the keystone of the
What?
female experience. And if that does not scream misogyny to you, I don't know what does. I'm all for
my
somebody feeling happy
God.
and confident as long as it's not an encroachment onto other people. And for me, this crosses the line. It's just not based in reality. It's not based in science, and it is so
It is based in
trivializes the
science.
female experience as it stands today. Next, I think this one is a coming out video.
Okay, hold on. I forgot to go to the bathroom before I started the stream, so I'm gonna be back in a minute. Is it working? The TV? I didn't know the power was off. Really? I had no fucking idea. They've been talking about it for 2 days. Where was I? Well, to be fair, I wasn't home. Yeah, I was like, you weren't here.
No, they are. It's just their hands.
It's because I have it pointed at the beds where the cats are. Hello. I am back, everyone. Okay, let's go back.
Let's see.
My name is Diddy, and I'm non-binary. My pronouns are she, they, and I'm queer. And this is me officially coming out. Oh my god. This feels really good.
Aww.
My name is Diddy. I am non-binary. My pronouns are she, they.
Is she rewatching it?
Wow, it feels really.
I mean, I don't know about you, but from watching that video, I did not get the sense that that feels very good to this individual. And to me, this was
What
a
do you
little
mean?
concerning to watch. I don't know if any of you felt that way. Now, it says
I
this
did
video
not.
is a repost from 2 years out and says updates. My pronouns are now they, them, still queer, still pan, still poly. It's interesting that we're encouraged to affirm blindly these people in their identities as soon as they tell you this is what I am. My pronouns are she, they, but then, you know, a couple years later, the pronouns change to they, them, and things shift and change. And maybe 2 years down the line, this individual named Diddy may have a completely different experience of gender and queerness and pronouns, and then we are still meant to blindly affirm that. Now,
Yeah,
I do
what's
feel
wrong
for this
with-
person.
I don't understand why that's such a hard concept. Like, people change all of the time. Like, yes, I understand it's hard if you know someone and they keep changing like that, but it's their experience at the end of the day. She's the type of person who thinks non-binaries are narcissists. And to that I say, if me believing myself makes me a narcissist, then I'm a narcissist, honestly,
It
same.
seems like this is a very emotional, possibly cathartic experience for them, which means that they've struggled deeply with who they are as a person, with their identity, coming to terms with themselves, loving themselves.
Wait, that's a great
That's where they're
tattoo.
at now in their journey. Although, when it's mixed in with this sort of gender theory, gender ideology stuff, I find it very hard to believe that this is coming from a position of being comfortable with who you are. When, in
Why?
fact, changing your pronouns, taking on all these different identities, seems to me and signals to me that you are running away from who you are as an individual. And I gotta say this, is coming out of the closet really that big of a deal? And
Yes, first of all, it can be that big of a deal to a lot of people. And I think it should be, if you want it to be, a big deal. Like, that's perfectly fine. But also, what the hell? How can you say that someone who is figuring themselves out and being their most authentic self is then running away from who they truly are? Like, they're running towards who they are. I don't get it.
anymore, that it takes on this sort of emotional response. I get that it's a difficult thing to go through, to struggle with your identity, to not know who you feel like or who you are, but oh my goodness, isn't everybody, their mother and their brother, non-binary these days?
No.
What this video signals.
No, non-binary people are actually a very small percentage of the population. So not everyone's mother, brother, sister, whatever is non-binary
More
now.
than anything is not happiness and joy in this newfound identity of they, them, queer, poly, pan. It signals to me a much deeper mental health crisis, and one that centers around identity. The many places you have to be with your mental health in order to be considering all these different identities, shouting from the rooftops that you're non-binary, and then filming a video of you crying, coming out, and posting that on TikTok. There's just a lot going on there. And that seems to be a through line with all of these videos. It's one thing to grapple back and forth with who you are and who you want to be. It's another thing to film all of this and put it on the internet for everybody to see.
Okay, but if that's how the person is processing their emotions, why should we tell them that that's wrong? Also, there are plenty of straight cis people who do a lot of ridiculous things online that I would say are grappling with identity and, like, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna sit here and fully, like, be a dick. You know what I mean? It's just not it. Coming out is literally the opposite of running away from yourself,
That's just
honestly.
everything that happens in our lives at any given moment goes on social media. Anyways, next.
You know I look up right now? It's because I've been sobbing. I was just talking.
I like their hair.
With my bank. I was calling about some bank stuff. The lady was super nice. So she called me Mr. Carter, which is, I mean, my voice is deep. I get it. I was like, oh, actually, it's Miss Carter, and she's like, oh, sorry. And then she just proceeded to call me Carter. But she kept saying sir, and it is actually
God.
she did correct herself. But at some point during the call, I just started sobbing because, the dysphoria has been a lot lately.
Aww.
I feel so bad because she heard me sobbing, and she's like, I'm so sorry. I know how it feels, sir. I mean, ma'am. God. I don't blame her at all.
You know what? I just feel bad for, this person and the others that we've seen, because this is a super big struggle
Their hair
to go
is
through,
cool.
to be fighting with yourself, fighting with your mind, and then fighting with reality constantly. And I can imagine that would make you really emotional, especially if you're putting so much weight on other people's language and what gender they refer to you as, whether or not they say sir or ma'am or she or he or they.
The thing is, it does get so exhausting. And that's one thing that cis people will never understand unless, they do get misgendered. Because I know there are cis men who look feminine, and there are cis women who look masculine and get misgendered and stuff. But, cis people will never understand what it's like to go through every single day and not have your outside appearance match how everyone else sees you. It fucking
That
sucks.
can be a lot of weight to carry. But instead of us treating this like what it is, which is a mental health issue which requires help and engagement and conversation and maybe some convincing in the other direction, we're deciding to blindly affirm people. And I know that there are many left...
Just so you know, first of all, I think everyone should get therapy. Second of all, if you are having gender issues, I do recommend going to a gender therapist who, you know, knows about that kind of stuff and can, you know, help you through it. I know my therapist has helped me with dysphoria things and trans stuff and non-binary things, and it really is helpful. And I just hate the whole, like, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's good to get therapy, it's good to get help for your gender, but not because of what she's saying. Yes, if that makes sense.
Activist who would listen to that TikTok that we just watched and think that the person on the other end of that customer service call is in the wrong for misgendering this individual. That she is in fact the one who needs to apologize, who needs to come to terms with his identity, instead of maybe
their
trying to
identity.
take stock of what his reality is, that he is a biological male, and learn to move through the world in that way. And
You know what sucks though? Trans people never deny biology. Like, that's something that I don't think I've ever heard. I told you it. I might cough during this. But, I don't think I've ever heard a trans person deny biology like that. Listen, if there are people out there that do, God bless. But, like, I've only ever heard people be like, yes, I was assigned male at birth, or, you know what I mean? Or I was assigned female at birth. Like, I don't feel like trans people deny biology at
It
all.
doesn't mean that you can't express yourself freely, that he can't do his blue hair or paint his fingernails
There.
or wear whatever clothes that he wants. It just means that
She's just misgendering them.
the acceptance of his self in the form that he was born in. Everything outside of that is
You know what's so weird? Like, cis people get so much gender affirming care done. They get lip injections, they get Botox, they get breast augmentations, they get BBLs. I know this is mostly like cis women surgeries. I'm sure there are surgeries that men get, but like a lot of cis women get these surgeries done, but as soon as a trans woman gets it or a trans man gets it, this is going against biology and this is harmful and oh my god, they're too young. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Personally, I don't think... Oh, I did come out. I simply let them in, and they didn't like the decor and were kicked out. Oh my god, I love that. And my view coming out is like me stepping into someone else's house. I grant no power over me. I love that. By the way, probably not going to comment much because I'm doing something else. I know it's all good. To hear seems to be alright for straight and cis people to be called weird for things. As a person studying biology, these people are absolutely ridiculous. Cis men get top surgery. They do, and take testosterone blockers for hair loss. I didn't know that.
Expression. And when you do come to terms with that, I imagine somebody calling you sir on a phone call is not going to bother you whatsoever.
I hate getting misgendered too.
Cisgender person get misgendered in their lives. I've had people accidentally call me sir. I'm sure whoever you are watching right now, you've had people misgender you at some point in your life.
I have had people on the daily.
Outbursts like this? I'd hope not. And if it did, to me, that would be a clear sign that there's somebody that you need to talk to, that you need to seek help of some form. And it's tough to see that these sort of thoughts plague the sweetest people. It seems like he was very understanding that this woman accidentally called him sir over and over and was sort of having trouble being in the position of a customer service person who's hearing a male voice on the other end of the line. But he should share some of that compassion and understanding that he has for the woman on the other end of that call with his own body. And yes, I mean the body that he was born in. And to be honest on that one, I just wish him the best. I hope that he gets on the other end of this.
I'm tired of her misgendering them. Oh my god.
Through average things like phone calls and customer service calls without interruptions like this. Okay, guys, you've made it.
Okay. I mean, I will agree that, like, trans people and non-binary people need to give ourselves more grace and understanding, but not because of the reasons that she just
We have
said.
one more. Let's see what we find on the other end of this one. It says trans women that are cis passing. And for those of you who need a translator on the lefty language, I can interpret that for you.
Oh
It
my
means
God!
who
I fucking
look
hate
like
this
biological women.
I'm trying to.
Biological.
I'm literally, I call everyone bitch. I'm really genuinely not meaning to like call her that. I say bitch a lot, so I feel bad.
Transitioning, and they're so good throughout their transition and their feminization and all this stuff. And there are quite a few trans women that are cis passing. They are men that have gone through feminization and all these different surgeries to where when you look at them now, sometimes you can't tell whether or not they're a woman or a man. And presumably this person is jealous of the trans women that are able to pass in that way.
But I love her.
Just come for this woman. Like, what she's saying is invalid. I will smack you across the face. Let's be real with one another. Passing as a trans woman, pretty privileged. I don't know within any community, within the trans community, within the trans femme community, pretty privileged.
It's a
There's
thing.
difference between what will save someone's life and what will lose someone's life, or will get someone a job, and what will get someone a job. Or what
She's
will
not wrong.
If that makes sense. Ever since I've started to pass, I can't even begin to talk about how it's made my life so much easier, and it's made me have more access to things that some trans women will never have access to. And it's such a privilege because it's effortless for me. Because naturally I have very feminine features or female characteristics.
Yeah, she does.
All I have to do is change my voice and boom. If you paid for it or it's effortless, I've made it.
You know what? I actually don't disagree with much that was said in this last video, other than the fact that this person is claiming to be a woman, and we know that that is not the case, but I digress. You know how I feel about that. If you were going to be a trans woman or a trans man, I imagine...
I want to see the rest of her, like, transphobic
one
videos.
that is passing so that people don't really know that you've transitioned. I think very few get that opportunity or have the facial characteristics, the body characteristics, and especially the voice to make that happen. But those that do, I imagine, are considered to be pretty lucky within the trans community. For example, we could compare the trans woman at the beginning of that last TikTok with somebody like actress Hunter Schafer, who is very much a passing trans woman. Hunter Schafer is probably going to get more opportunities, is going to be seen more often as a woman, is probably going to have to deal with being misgendered far less than a trans person who cannot pass as the gender that they've chosen. And you can be mad that that's the reality or try to call it out and change things, but I think that's always going to be the reality. It's just wild to me that we're even in a time where we're talking about these things or considering them, or people are going through transition to the point where we can't decipher whether or not they are male or female. But hey, it's
I mean, that's what I want.
So, let's talk about it. Pretty privilege, or the privilege of beauty or passing.
I mean, that's something that exists in society in general.
That has existed and will always exist.
Yeah.
It takes different forms as time progresses, and different things come in and out of style when it comes to beauty and attraction, but it's there nonetheless. If you meet the standards of the time, you will be rewarded in kind. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's just the way things are.
God.
The trans community has their very own version of pretty privilege. And I think we can test this
It
in real
does.
time. I bet if you asked a room of 100 people which bathroom they think Blair White should go into, many of them would say Blair should go into the female bathroom. But if you ask them,
I wonder what her feelings on Blair are.
going into, I think you'd have far fewer choosing the female bathroom. And that's because passing can be a bonus. That's simply the way things are, and I imagine the way that they're going to remain. And that was our last TikTok, guys. If you sat
Okay,
down
y'all.
this week,
Okay, let's see what else she has. I want to see this. I want to see, like, transphobic shit. Or I at least want to see what she thinks about. Oh no, they called him sir. His reaction went viral. Oh God. Let's see. This trend turned into man-hating real quick. Trans athlete beats women and denies having an advantage. Hold on. Damn. I love how she's talking about, like, the Snow White shit, too. And Barbie. Barbie wasn't even that woke. Hello. I'm so sorry. I'm like, is this really what conservatives watch? Like, actually, though, this is so, like, I feel like I'm learning. Hold on. Let me actually look up, like, what's her name? I can't spell. Let's do a Dylan Mulvaney. Let's do it, y'all. Oh no. Okay, hold on one second. Oh, she likes to stream about her. Oh my god, should I do an offensive tranny reaction video too? Yo, this person did a reaction to one of my videos. Should we watch it together? Hold on, there's a cat at the door that I need to grab. Pippin, I need you to agree to not ruin my stream. I wish she wouldn't call them men, honestly. Blair is probably her token trans person. I'm about to. Reacting to my TikTok haters. Listen. Okay, wait. So she only streams about Dylan. She doesn't really have, like, videos on her. Let's see. Oh god, she reacted to that. I thought about... Did I react to this? I can't remember if I did. Oh, she had a conversation with Buck. That time I went on Jubilee's Middle Ground, Trans versus Conservative. Oh no. Okay, you know what? Let's watch. I kind of want to watch this one. Like the reacting to my TikTok haters. Teaching my kids to be gay. You know what? Let's do this one, and then if I still have it in me.
Misgendering, right? It's when you refer to
Audio
someone by
echoing.
the wrong pronouns.
Hold on one sec. Did that fix it? Let me know if it fixed it. Most conservatives seem to be drawn to Blair White, right?
You've all heard the phrase misgendering, right? It's when you refer to somebody by the wrong pronouns. Although we've gotten in the weeds with it these days because now...
What's with the background music being all, like, sexy?
A man can tell you that his pronouns are she, her, and if you refer to him as he, him, you have now committed the grave mistake of misgendering somebody. Some people
It
even
pains
think
me
it
to
should
see
be
a black
punishable
person
under
be
law. So what
conservative.
happens when a biological man makes it his entire
Yeah.
personality to film himself getting into altercations with people who misgender him? Let's talk about it.
It's just so interesting to me.
Guys, before we get
Why
into
do
the show, I do
transphobes
have a
care?
Patreon if you
I
want to
really
support
don't.
what I'm doing on
Does
this
she?
channel. The link is in the description
Yo,
down.
this bitch does a Patreon shout out every single. You know what? I'm learning so much for. I'm gonna take her editing. I'm gonna take her little Patreon shout outs every single video. I'm learning so much from her.
No pressure. Now, let's get introduced to this
Hopefully,
guy. I do not know his
maybe someday I'll have a
Get
million
into
subs
all
too.
that. I don't want you guys to go leave him comments or anything like that. Let's just
Why
watch
are you
the content and see how
misgendering
you
this
feel about it.
person? Why do you?
She, her. Yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
But it was not all good.
I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir. Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir. Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
I mean, that's
Oh my
valid.
gosh, as you should. In that first video, where the person says he, by the way, it's she, but it's all good.
Why do
If
people
it
feel
says
so
him, she would go
empowered
on to say, but it's not all good, or
to
this feels like a knife in the heart.
assume
Obviously,
about
these people
strangers'
are not
privates?
going
I
out
don't know.
in their daily lives to purposefully disrespect somebody. And if you're me or you think like I do, I don't even see that as a form of disrespect. I
It
see
is
as a form
disrespectful.
of acknowledging reality. And it seems as though that person was particularly apologetic when it came to.
You know what's
using-
so funny about conservatives? They are literally the ones ignoring reality. Because the reality is that trans people and non-binary and queer people are real. Like, that's the reality that you live in. Like, for me, it's conservative people that I feel like are completely just outside of
The
reality.
wrong pronouns in this case. It should be just to stop there, move on, eat your food, and go about your business.
Sweetwater starts at okay. Not.
I think I've seen this person before. I think I've seen her at TikToks
It
before.
always hurts every single time. I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something that happened. Yeah, I was called sir. Oh, okay. It just really sucks every time it happens. I don't need to be called ma'am. I just need to not be called sir. You know?
Is your chosen name Karen?
Can I speak to the manager?
Did you call me sir? I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir. Called me sir.
Oh.
Just like, it kind of just hurts a lot to get called sir.
Oh, sorry about that.
Is this what she does on TikTok? Goes to like restaurants and everything.
Thank you so much.
I feel like,
Yeah.
aw,
Thank you. I'm not a sir.
yeah.
Nothing like a good misgendering. It is a knife in the gut when I get called sir. I feel like I need to tell him.
Oh,
I need to tell him.
Why would you assume that he is a him? Did he tell you what his preferred pronouns were before you started referring to him as him? It must be pointed out that this individual is constantly going to restaurants, setting up a phone to film himself eating, and then catching these moments. It's almost as though he
'Cause it
anticipates
sucks.
these moments happening and thinks, you know, this may be good for social media content. And if you can anticipate these...
Because the thing is, like, no one has the right to invalidate a person's identity. Exactly. And they call us transphobe perverts, honestly. The thing is, I feel like the reason she does this is because it's so relatable to other trans people. And so she's showing the reality of just how much, if you are non-cis passing, you get misgendered. And like, to someone like her, I know she's like, oh, this is annoying and repetitive. But to us, it's annoying and repetitive to get misgendered. Like, hello?
Misgendering happening. And the moments of apology from the servers and waitresses who are taking care of him, maybe he can also acknowledge the reality that most people are going to make the mistake, if we can even call it that, of referring to him, as that is what most people see. And it's almost as if you are imposing, or at least attempting to impose, a new distorted reality onto other people. As
It's
if the
not.
world revolves around you, as if you have some sort of sense of entitlement
You're
to
right.
the language that people use. They are not
You're right. She definitely is the kind of person that's like trans and non-binary people are narcissists. Oh my
the
god.
ones committing this act of disrespect in this moment. He is in fact the one committing an act of disrespect. It seems
No,
like in
she's
these videos,
not.
every single person is attempting to just do their job, and they're attempting to do it respectfully, which is why they're using phrases like sir and ma'am. They're going out of their way to try and be respectful. And this guy, due to his own distorted view of reality, is trying to police their language. But let's keep watching. Maybe it gets better.
That hurt. It hurts more though when it's not intentional, because it means like this is sir to him. I know you didn't mean it, but I'm not a sir. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I know you didn't mean it. It's just, you know, it hurts. I know when people clock me, it's fine, but like it does kind of hurt. Thank you. I'm not sir. Not sir.
It also just
Not
shows
sir.
just how
Guys,
gendered
the
people,
food
like
off.
how much, even though English isn't the most gendered language out there, we still have it built into us. You have to, like, there's a way to be polite, and that is to sir or ma'am someone. And, I mean, I don't think that's the only way to be polite.
He called me sir twice in a row. I'll let him know that, and thank you. I appreciate that.
What are they supposed to do? Say you're fired?
You're fired!
I just don't understand. At what
Wait.
point, you know,
I just love that clip, though. I'm sorry, that was it. That was a funny clip. I love that part of that, the Cat in the Hat movie. I'm not laughing at what she's implying, I guarantee you.
If
But
this
I
guy
just
surveys
love that
100
clip.
people and asks them, you know, what are you going to refer to me as? Which pronouns would you be most inclined to use?
And if out of those 100 people, 98 say I would refer to you as sir, you know, if I was talking to you in passing or serving you at a restaurant.
At what point do you have to then acknowledge that this is happening to you so often that maybe you are the one that does not have the best view of the situation? If you can
What?
constantly
What does that even mean? Wait,
get,
what?
you know, video after video after video of somebody referring to you as sir or he, him, maybe it's you who needs to do a little bit of self-inventory about the way that you are presenting to the world. And
Yeah, but the way you present doesn't always match your gender.
typically, I have a lot of sympathy for people who are going through something like this, as we know it comes from a deep sense of incongruence with their mind and their body. They feel uncomfortable with themselves. They feel like they need a big change, and that big change comes in the form of social transition or changing the way you look or the way you dress, even getting surgery in many cases. But when you choose to take on an identity like this and also disrespect other people while doing,
I don't think addressing misgendering is disrespect. But that's just me.
then we have a problem. It's one thing to go around and say, hey, could you please refer to me as she, her, and not have the expectation that people do it. Allow them to make the choice freely, allow them to make mistakes. That is one way to handle the situation, and in my opinion, the right way to handle the situation.
Yeah, but you're not a trans person, so like, why does she think she has a say in this
Another thing, to go out to
whatsoever?
restaurants, set up-
Also, it literally depends on the trans person. Like, I'll tell people my pronouns. If they use them, they use them. If they don't, they don't. I am not the kind of person that's going to sit there and babysit someone and make sure they always say my pronouns. If they respect me, they will use my pronouns. If they don't respect me, they're not going to use my pronouns. There's nothing I personally am non-confrontational, and I'm not out here going to, like, you know,
Start
do
filming,
that.
wait for people to misgender you, correct them, go after them, go to their managers, try to get them fired or try to get them reprimanded, and then post that on social media later. It leads me to believe that in fact it is not a knife in the heart or a knife in the gut or a knife anywhere to this individual. That in fact he may get off on the idea of people misgendering him because he
What the
knows
hell?
it brings about social media content. It brings about this new manufactured outrage that we are so in love with on the internet. If it truly were a knife in the heart to get misgendered, wouldn't you avoid that at all costs? Wouldn't you stop?
The thing is, trans people do everything that they can to avoid being misgendered, and then people like you will go and misgender them.
Maybe going to restaurants where this is happening to you? Wouldn't you stop filming those altercations so that you could go back and watch your assault over and over and over again? I would think so. But this person chooses to film them, edit them, put them out on the internet, and then do it over and over and over again.
Okay, but you also do content and do reactions to this kind of stuff and film it over and over and over again. But the whole point of the internet, and if someone finds something that goes viral or whatever, they're going to do it over and over again. And like I said before, it just goes to show that trans people just get misgendered all of the time.
But let's take him at his word that in fact misgendering truly is a knife to the heart. That still means that you have work to do, because for the most part that is the way that the world is going to treat you. You have a couple of options. Your options are to go further down the path of trying to feminize yourself so that you can become a passing individual.
Okay, but there's so many trans people that no matter what they do to pass, they don't pass. Like, it shouldn't be solely on the trans person to pass. And there are plenty of trans people who don't want to pass, don't want to look cis. Like, I would never want to look cis whatsoever.
Or you can choose to acknowledge the reality that yes, in your current state, some people are going to refer to you as sir and he, him. And the truth of it is, the world does not revolve around you. It is not me all the time. You are not the main character. But this is further proof that victimhood is really currency. If you can identify with a marginalized group and get evidence that you are constantly being berated and assaulted by those who don't adhere to your ideology, you have moved up in the hierarchy. And that
Yo, that's what conservatives do, though. Damn, she's the call from within the fucking house.
And these poor service workers who are just going to their job day in and day out to make money, to do what it is they've been hired to do, are actually the ones who are being berated. And I have to point out that it seems evident in watching some of these videos that some of the people he's talking to don't have English as their first language. So how insulting is it to have somebody come to you in this land of just privilege and opportunity, and they use that privilege and opportunity to change their pronouns and try to enforce them on you? And this isn't a new phenomenon. We see these filmed altercations of people getting misgendered all the time on the internet.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
Your entire staff has been calling me sir.
Caitlyn Jenner, I'll call him Caitlyn Jenner
No,
because
it's
that's
her. You're not being polite to the pronoun.
Big 7 in the morning
Yeah.
at the physical therapy office, misgendered.
Tell me why I just got misgendered at the pharmacy.
I have this one coworker who simply refuses to use the correct pronouns for me.
He admits twice calling me sir.
And we can keep going through this never-ending cycle, right? Because it makes for good content, it makes people feel good about themselves, it makes people be able to identify and label themselves as a perpetual victim. I guess it's a win-win situation for all.
The thing is, like, it's just people talking about their experience and having an emotional reaction, which is perfectly fine. I've never understood why conservative people, for the most part, see emotions as a bad thing. These people are just expressing something that makes them upset. Like, why is that an issue?
Except for those who are reasonable and sane. And I guess we should accept this will continue to happen as long as people subscribe themselves to an ideology that says that they can police others' language and have really unrealistic expectations for other people's language. The fact of the matter is, if you look like a sir, you will be referred to as sir.
She thinks it's a
If you look
choice,
like a man,
right?
you will be
Like, it's
referred to
not.
as ma'am.
I wondered how
Sometimes
she
I
would
go
feel
out
being
and I
called
will be
sir,
referred to as a man.
honestly.
I'm sure in each of our lives, even if you are a straight, cisgendered, heterosexual individual, you have been misgendered.
They think
at
their
one
own
point or
emotions are
another. Did you
logical
start
and
screaming your
reasonable,
head
but
off when the
anything
cashier
different
at
is
Chick-fil-A
forbidden,
accidentally
honest.
called you sir? Did you ask for a manager when this server at Chipotle called you ma'am? Oh, you didn't? You mean to tell me that you didn't pull out your phone when somebody accidentally used the wrong pronoun for you or referred to you as some sort of gendered language that you don't adhere to? If you didn't do those things, that would make you normal in these cases, right? Because normally we just take these things in and go, oh, that was a mistake, and you go on about your day because your day is yours and theirs is theirs, and there's no point in making a giant conflict over something so small. In fact, here's a video that I feel is a prime example of how we should deal with being misgendered.
I was just misgendered in my local FedEx. The woman behind the counter asked her coworker, "Did you help that guy yet?" And after further observation, she goes, "Or lady, see." Immediately, my thoughts were, cancel this woman because she called me what I look like. Just kidding. That's what y'all would do. I, on the other hand, am aware that I look like a guy. Look at me. Am I a guy? Nope, just a dyke. But this is your message. If you look like a guy, they're going to call you a guy. If you look like a chick, they're going to call you a chick, regardless of what you identify as. Okay? And stop taking it so personally. In fact, you'd be a little happier if you could laugh sometimes. Laugh at it.
As I said before, I have seen
Oh
people
my
who are
God.
going through a great struggle with their identity and who are exploring and messing around.
I always love when people within the community have those kind of opinions. The wrong
With
opinions.
things in order to feel better about themselves. We could argue that it's not the best path to make you feel better about yourself, but still,
Oh, yeah,
everybody
he's
is
right
on their
here.
own journey. However, that journey should not involve filming unknowing individuals as they misgender you and posting it on the internet for people to see. This man is not a victim. He's the victimizer. But I would love to hear your thoughts on the situation. Drop them down in the comments below. As always, if you disagree with me, duke it out, but do so respectfully. And if you like this video, like, subscribe,
Oh my
click the
God.
notification bell to be notified.
Damn, she's something else, y'all. Okay, everyone. I told you it was probably going to be a relatively short stream because I am still getting over my sickness, my cold. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I did, for one. I love... Ow! Did you see this bitch just bite me? You little dick. Mwah! I'm taking you off. No, she doesn't deserve respect, but you do. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so, just so y'all know, like I said, I'm going to be starting to plug my Patreon a little bit more. I'm low-key gonna watch her videos just to like look at her editing, because like she does have decent editing, which is so bad to say. I hate when like fucking conservative people have good editing and production. I'm like, you bastards. I am going to be starting to talk a little bit more about my Patreon, because I do want to start making this my full-time job. That is the goal for the end of 2024, being like, I quit my job, I'm a full-time YouTuber, streamer, content creator, blah, 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 all of that jazz. So I'm going to be putting a little bit later on tonight the fan art options for my Patreons to vote on for Thursday's stream. Just so you know, it's part of the $1 tier on Patreon, so it is only one single dollar. And I understand if you cannot, but for those of you who can, I would absolutely adore that. I'm going to be doing a bunch of other stuff over there. I'm also going to let you know that anything that I draw on my Thursday streams are going to be available to buy as stickers and buttons and potentially hoodies and or shirts, but only for that week. Only for the week until the next Thursday. So if any of you want to check out like merch during the week, or if you really like something that I drew on stream and you want to check it out, and get like a little sticker or a button or a shirt from me, I would very much appreciate that. So my very first art stream will be here Thursday, 7 Eastern Standard Time. And let's see what we draw. I'm so excited. Sorry about that. I'm so excited about it. Hope y'all like this stream. I think what I'm gonna do is have Tuesdays be like my reaction streams, and then Thursdays are going to be my drawing streams. So let me know what y'all think about that. Love you all. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good night, and I hope to see you all on Thursday.